the Five of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. WTF. To clarify the energy, you know, of kind of where you guys go next, it was all Pentacles. You know, your energy came out, you know, pretty fiery. The Sun and the Six of Wands, that's fiery energy. You know, so technically the Chariot represents Cancer. I'm starting to shift my view on that. I kind of lean more towards Sag. Yeah, I'm really starting to with this. That's kind of more Sag energy, I think, and which is a fire sign. So you're coming out real fiery as far as I'm concerned. The relationship is coming out like earthy, where you guys go next is it needs to be grounded. The relationship needs to get grounded. All right. There's a lot of passion and heat coming off your side. And then the person that you're thinking about is like all water. They're like all cups, including the King of Cups, which is really interesting. So we have the Five of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. To clarify the King of Cups in reverse for what they want from the relationship. All right, Jimmy, I think that I need to get more clarifiers for them. But I think you might be the one who is wanting the open if this is an open relationship thing, which is, you know, we're far enough into the reading that I'm just going to kind of stick with that because I got it so strongly. That you're the one who wants that. And I don't know that they do. I don't know that they do, Jem. All right, this is, you know, let me get some more clarification. So this was related, right? Before, and then I'll tie them together and kind of see what I get for the overall message. So this was the Emperor that represented the energy that they're currently in. So for the person that Gemini is thinking about, what clarification can we give around this Emperor card, the Power? What clarification can we get for this person that Gemini is thinking about tied to this relationship? Oh boy. Those got all kinds of, that usually means a strong message is coming. Hold on to your pants there, Jim. Oops. Yep, the World. That's a big one. Oops. The Queen of Pentacles. And the Four of Swords. Gemini, what I'm getting here for them, all right, it is reinforcing what I was, you know, getting with all of these cups, which is, you know, they may be more emotionally sensitive and or needy. Hate to use the word needy, but kind of that kind of thing. Like they might require a little bit more emotionally than you do. Sorry, I was trying to see if I was getting like a particular sign that was coming out. I'm not necessarily getting like a strong indication of a particular sign. So, I think they might need a minute. All right. I really do think that they might need a minute to figure out what it is that they want. This is the Four of Swords. Because what I'm getting from this is that I think they want something. Again, I think there's some communication that needs to be had here. So you can, you know, definitely would encourage that. But I think they want something more stable. This is the World and the Queen of Pentacles. Those are very stable energies, like reliable, stable energies. And so maybe, Gemini, with your gift of persuasion, which you probably have, if you could, so if this is a poly thing and you're trying to open the relationship up and you're trying to get them to understand why and how this would work and how it would look, and maybe this is the key for you, this is the takeaway for you, Gemini, is that they really need some level of stability and security based on these cards. They really need to understand how that's going to look and feel for them. And they probably still want to be, so like I'm getting that they want to be somebody's primary. They want to be like the apple of someone's eye. Maybe you could talk them into, I hate to say talk them into, but maybe you can get them to at least try this as an experiment. But I don't know that this is going to be, I don't know that this is going to work for them unless they ultimately come to the conclusion. Even if they do say, yeah, go ahead, and they don't love the idea, but they still say, yeah, go ahead. They may be kind of waiting in the wings to see how you handle it, because in the end, if they don't feel the stability and security in the relationship, so if you start, I'm making up scenarios, okay? Like you go out and then you don't come home till 4 o'clock in the morning, and you told them that you would be home by midnight or something, or you start spending the night out a lot. That kind of thing, I think, is going to cause them to want to step away from this. So maybe they'll give you a chance to kind of test this, and but that would be the suggestion from the cards, is if you're serious about keeping this relationship, like this, what I'll call like the primary relationship that you have in mind, there needs to be some kind of ground rules and some stability and some like level setting of expectations so that they don't get spooked. And they might need some time to think about it, all right? You might need to give them some time to process it, which goes back to what we talked about with the Two of Pentacles. Where did that go? Yeah. You might need to kind of put the idea, if you've already started another relationship, you might need to kind of put that on the back burner for a minute and give them time to process what it is that you want. And it might not be on your timeline. They might not be able to make a decision right away. They might need a few days or a few weeks. So again, if this relationship is important to you, you may need to give them, let's be fair, you need to give them as much time as they need to figure it out, right? Or at least time within reason, right? To make some kind of decision and let you kind of know where they stand, But part of this too, Gemini, is that you need to kind of come clean, and you need to talk to them and be honest with them about what you need and what you want, all right? And so from these cups, if we go back to these cups then, to clarify this King of Cups in reverse, that's kind of where these cards reinforced what I got in the other clarifiers we just talked about, which is if they don't find kind of the stability and the security, if they're not feeling happy in the relationship, I think they're going to walk away from it, So again, if this is important for you to keep this relationship, not the extra one, but this main one, there's some tact and some, I'm also getting right now, like proving yourself. Like you have to prove yourself reliable and trustworthy. And I know that sounds weird when we're talking about opening up a relationship, but that's definitely a big piece, especially if the other party is not into it, especially if they don't want to go out and explore. That those things need to be taken into consideration, right? And that's what I'm getting from all of these cups, is like this is going to be a very emotional thing for them. You don't have any cups. The only watery thing that you have on your side is the moon, and it's in reverse. The moon is kind of watery energy, but other than that, you're all fire. You're fire and swords, and then technically Capricorn with with the devil, but and then even your clarifier here was the Strength card is a fire card too. So you're very fiery. Your energy is very fiery and very passionate, and they're very kind of watery and looking for stability and earthy, you know. The Emperor, that's a card of stability. That's a very kind of earthy, stable card. The World, obviously, too. The Queen of Pentacles, for sure, right? You know, so they're like earth and water, and you're coming out like fire big time. So I don't know that this is going to be easy. And they, you know, they're going to definitely have some, they're going to come at this from a more emotional standpoint, I think, where you're coming at it from more of a passionate place. Passionate meaning kind of that fiery passion that comes kind of like from here and from our gut, as opposed to from here. They're kind of more in this heart space, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, that was pretty juicy. I'm going to leave the tarot messages there, but I am going to pull you some, one or two, we'll see what we get, animal spirit messages. These will be parting messages for you, messages of inspiration and or healing, please, for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Messages of healing, inspiration. Wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. I'm going to pull another one because I'm not getting a very strong read on this card. But there is some kind of implication of needing to have conversations before final decisions are made. So knowledge into wisdom, right? So you can't have full knowledge on a subject unless you're really discussing it and studying it. And the studying it part, I think, is kind of like hashing it out with the other person and trying to kind of work out the details and the give and the take and the compromises. That's kind of what I'm getting here. So let's see what else we get. Frog spirit, clear out the clutter. This may tie back to that Two of Pentacles that we talked about, which is you may need to put some of that other stuff that you got going on the side, like on the side. You need to like literally push it off and, you know, tell either those responsibilities or those people that you need to take a time out to focus on this for a minute. And kind of get that stuff figured out before you re-engage with them. Okay. We'll get you one more, which is Chameleon Spirit. Act as if. It's such a beautiful card. These cards are just amazing. The colors are so bright. So I did notice that this added to a 10, which is kind of the beginning, the closing of a cycle, beginning of a cycle type of thing. And so you may need to kind of close some things out so that you can focus on this and get this in order before you can make final decisions on kind of what's going to happen with this relationship, right? Because you guys are in this Two of Wands energy, which is where do we go from here? So that's what I think we're getting that for sure from Frog Spirit. And then Chameleon Spirit adds up to a 5. And 5s just in general represent some kind of challenge or obstacle. All the 5s kind of do. And so I'm wondering, you know, I just got something kind of strange here, Gemini. I'm wondering if, did you think about this? Did you give this primary relationship a fair chance? Did you give yourself a chance to kind of blend, you know, chameleon, right? Blend into this relationship to see if it actually fits for you or not. Or maybe the flip side of that is like you've tried to be the chameleon that actually kind of fits possibly better with the reading even still, which is like you tried to kind of be in this monogamous relationship. You tried to act as if, and it's been a challenge and a struggle for you, the 5, right? So chameleon spirit coupled with frog spirit, coupled with wolf. Okay, now I think it's something starting to come together here. So I think you've learned from experience, the chameleon. You've learned from experience that maybe this traditional thing might not necessarily work so well for you because you've tried it, right? So now you have some knowledge and you have some, what did this say? Knowledge into wisdom, right? So now you have some experience which you can convert into wisdom. And I think the encouragement here is to have those conversations, to understand what they want. So now you know kind of what works for you and what you want. And now I think you need to understand, assuming that you want to keep this primary relationship, you need to kind of understand on their end. And then all that information, all of that knowledge gathering, you can then turn into wisdom, so to speak, and make the best decision for yourself and for this relationship. But I do think there's a strong indication here that you need to maybe put some extra stuff on the side for now, so that you can focus on this, all right? Like clear out the clutter type of thing for now, so that your brain is clear to focus on this for the time that it needs, so that you guys can make the best decision possible, okay?